On this episode of The Lawyer You Know, we're doing a little Rescue 911 throwback where we do some reenactments of situations when officers pull you over so we can tell you how to act properly. The first situation we're going to deal with this week is what you do if you get pulled over and you have a gun in the car. Now, the reenactment that we do is if you have a carry concealed permit in Florida, what is the proper way to act when a cop pulls you over? Let's play the video. License and registration.
Officer, before we begin, I want to let you know that I have a concealed weapons permit and that I do have a weapon concealed on my right hip.
Okay, do you have that permit with you?
I do have the permit with me and my license. They're both in my wallet on my right hip. Can I get them?
Yes, just move slowly.
Here's my permit and here's my license. Can I go in my glove compartment in order to get the other documents?
Yes.
Here is my insurance card and there is my registration.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me know and being honest. So Dad, we just watched how you acted throughout that video. Let's hit some of the highlights of what's really important. When you get pulled over, knowing the situation a cop is in could be dangerous for him, you have a gun on your hip. What are you thinking as the person driving the car with the concealed weapon?
Well, what I'm thinking is, I'm trying to think, what is that officer thinking? What would that officer want to know? And how would that officer want me to act so he doesn't feel like he's threatened?
So the purpose of all of these scenarios, especially this week's, is safety, right? So it's a big thing for cops to feel safe, but then, especially in today's day and age, it's very important that we as the citizen feel safe. We don't want the cop to go crazy, to have any reason to pull out his or her gun, to have any reason to point that gun or taser or anything at us. So when we're talking about the fact that we have a weapon, automatically tensions are going to be high. So to put them at ease, what is the first thing that we want to point out about this video that everybody just watched? What's the first thing you want to point out? What's the first thing you did as the cop walked up to your window?
Watch my hands. That is the most important thing, because if the cop can see both of your hands, he knows that there's not a gun in them and there's not something that you're doing to threaten him. So first and foremost, show him your hands.
Okay, and the window was also down as the cop was rolling up, as the cop was walking up. So you put that window down first, so there's no, hey, put your window down, or argument as to whether or not you're going to crack your window or put it all the way down. When you're in this situation with a carry concealed permit, gun on you, you just put your hands up so the cop can see them, open them up, and then what do you do? Because it's not just showing your hands, you also tell the cop something.
Well, also keep in mind, you're doing that before he gets to your window.
Right.
So it's before he's in that risky situation. That's why you're kind of anticipating it.
Okay.
And then the next thing you do is tell him that there is something in that car that is dangerous. A weapon, a gun is a dangerous instrumentality. Officer, before we begin, I want to let you know that I have a concealed weapons permit and that I do have a weapon concealed on my right hip. So you want to inform him, look, there's a dangerous instrumentality in here. I lawfully possess it. I'm lawfully carrying it. And my hands are out, so you're not threatened by it.
So specifically, I have a carry concealed weapon permit. I'm carrying a concealed weapon right now, and you tell him where it is. It's on my right hip. You just point to it, keep your hands here, so that he knows the situation, he knows where to look, he knows where your weapon is, and it kind of puts him at ease, right?
Right.
Him or her. So once you've done that, then what do you do? Because cops always ask for your license and registration, for your permit, whatever. What's kind of the next step?
Of necessity, you've got to pull your hands back to get those documents. So before you do that, in order, again, to keep him at ease, you tell him, my documents are in my wallet or they're in the glove compartment. I have to pull my hands in to do that. Is it okay if I do that?
Okay, do you have that permit with you?
I do have the permit with me and my license. They're both in my wallet on my right hip. Can I get them?
Yes, just move slowly.
And then he'll, I'm sure, say yes. And then you slowly put your hands back in. You deliberately move to where your wallet is. You get those documents out. You go to your glove compartment. You get those documents out. And then you do that while still always having your hands visible to the officer, and then you hand them to the officer.
Right, and you wait until he gives you permission to do each one of those things. So there's no sudden movements, no issues at all. So when we're talking about how to deal with this situation to carry conceal, what we just explained and what you watched in the video is our best practices recommendation, what we think is the wisest move to take. But legally speaking, do you have to tell an officer if you have a weapon in your car, whether it's carry concealed or a weapon somewhere else?
There is no law that says you have to tell the officer.
Okay, let's take it kind of a step further. Forget about carry concealed. are there other ways that you can legally transport a gun in your car even if you don't have a carry concealed weapons permit in Florida?
Yes, you can carry a weapon in the car if it is not immediately available to you. Easily accessible is the way the statute reads. So if you've got it in a glove compartment, you've got it in a zippered bag, you've got it in a locked case, you've got it in your trunk, those are all legal ways to carry the gun. You can also carry a gun in the car if you're transporting it between legal locations, like you're going hunting or between your home and your office. So there are legal ways to do it. But again, the immediate accessibility of the weapon is the key to this.
If you have your gun locked in the trunk or wherever it may be, not on your person, do you have to tell the cop that it's in your car?
You do not.
Okay, and I would recommend best practices that you don't, just to not bring up any issues. You would say
I
still
would disagree. I would still tell the officer that I'm armed, I have a weapon in the car. I've had these situations where I've been stopped, and I've always informed the officer of it in order to make sure that there's no misunderstandings about weapons and the possession of the weapons.
Okay, so if you have a situation where the gun is locked in your glove box or your trunk or somewhere where it's not a carry concealed situation, you think it's wise to tell the cop that you have that gun in your car. If the cop then asks to search your car, would you let him at that point?
No, because I really don't agree.
Well, hold on. So we have another video coming up. It's our next video on what to do if a cop asks to search your car. So make sure you subscribe to our channel and like this video so you'll get alerted at the next video when we talk about whether or not a cop can search your car. We also have videos on what to say to a cop and what questions you have to answer, and whether or not you can record a cop during a traffic stop. So make sure you subscribe to our page so you get all those videos and you can watch them real time. We do more reenactments so you can see what to do, and we even have some videos like we're going to play right now of what not to do in these situations. So what is the worst thing that you can do if you have a carry concealed weapon and a cop walks up to your window after pulling you over for a speeding ticket? Let's take a look.
Sir, could I have your license, registration, and insurance?
Hopefully you guys enjoyed these videos. That one's pretty self-explanatory. Make sure you stay tuned for more in this series of what to do when you get pulled over and you're in that situation with a law enforcement officer.